Like when you see ads on my videos, I'm basically saying I was paid to say these words. Now, granted, I refuse a lot of products that I don't use in my own life or would.
He did advertise, guys. He did just advertise. I mean, if you ever wanted snake oil, this is it. Not to be mad at the guy, I'm subscribed for, you know, average reasons. He is breaking down more or less interesting stuff and has a genuinely grounded perspective. The funny thing is, the first time I saw him was him criticizing Flat Earth by making a parody out of it. Yeah. Regardless, this is the healing series. And we have to address the elephant in the room of bad advice. Alright. Let's let him destroy bad advice first.
Routines.
Let's give him some credit, but then I'll take it away. I'll take all his credibility because all he wants to do is just sell something, right? Or like even like the idea of selling muscle has to be challenged, right? What do men want? Oh, the generic stuff. First of all, self-improvement does not rely on products or doctor analysis on your body of like what is inside of your body, what your body's made out of. It's just like whatever you're gonna put whatever you're gonna put in your body, that's what's gonna be happening, right? So you're gonna put too much exercise and certain types of foods, certain types of drinks. What do you expect, right? God forbid you put alcohol and smoking into your body, and then I would love to know how easy it is to defeat you physically, right? Then I become very curious because there's no way I'm the weak one, right? It is said that loneliness is like smoking a pack of cigarettes, and that's why I just refuse to accept loneliness. I'm still lonely though. No, it is what it is, a survival. It's a survival situation. The first thing you have to be reminded of, you survived. That's all you need. You don't need to go above and beyond. Just appreciate that you survived and potentially just walk away from all the, you know, excess self-improvement. You don't need that shit. You just need to feel healthy, keep on surviving, tackle the dramas around you. It's capitalism, baby. People are free to do whatever the fuck they want, and usually they feel free to piss you off, right? To rage bait you, to trash your life, right? You have to survive this. You have to focus on that first instead of listening to anyone's advice, or God forbid, you buy anything. The only self-improvement related purchases you can make, first of all, are investments. But they go into a broad category of technology. Right? Those are the big investments. Something that works, something that makes your life easier. Fucking folds your laundry for you. I don't care how simple it is, but if it alleviates your burdens, then it's great. This is the only magical pill, the only thing that works in the first place. People have freedom. This guy has freedom. This guy wants money, right? That's what freedom fighters fight for, just their own pockets. And it's part of your survival to say no to any influencer that sells you anything. And no, it's not about supporting your poor little influencers. They're not poor. There's always going to be idiots who will do that for you, right? Just like, don't accept the idea that you have to do stupid shit by yourself, that you have to be the idiot, be the sucker, right? Don't suck up to anyone. You're not supposed to look up to someone. You look at the horizon. Then you can actually see your future, but when you're just looking up to someone, you pretend that they're your future. You should be looking internally and looking at everyone else as a tool, a helping hand. Even myself. Maybe you can be better. I hope you can be better. Now, it's very tough with me, because I actually challenge every single idea, and I will challenge you trying to be better than me. That sounds very unlikely. But yeah, like, you want to be hater? No. There's plenty of haters. There's plenty. You don't have to lift a fucking finger. The world will do the stupid shit for you. Alright? Stupid shit is easy access for a lot of people. You don't have to do that yourself. Someone else will fucking suck up to someone's OnlyFans account. Like, for fuck's sake. Right? This is why you just unfortunately cannot support influencers. You can't. You can only want... Like, they get a little bit of support, a little bit of that ad money when you watch them, so you can respect them that way of, like, watch 30 seconds of a video. You can get in the habit of just click video. Don't think too much. If it's watchable, watch it for 30 seconds, then you fucking drop it. They get a view. They get actually a little boost in the metric that actually matters to, to calculate the revenue, right? That's the only way you can support them. I pay for YouTube Premium. I still don't get a fucking refund on that one when it comes to me making content and me consuming content. It's the only subscription I have, but holy shit. It's still a battlefield, right? Like, I should actually put more effort into getting my money back. Uploading more videos, if only that would work, right? Anyways, the first video we're watching is this. Like, he actually did mention he wants to, like, either make a new channel or shift his content in general towards, like, the self-improvement type of stuff. And it does seem to at least leak. He didn't mention his new channel either, so I don't know what's going on. We did.
I do an hour of exercise.
We did find Brian Johnson to be an absolute giga zombie, bro, of self-improvement. What? This is amazing. This is amazing if it works, if you do the best things. But there's two more factors to consider of what you cannot necessarily life hack. Social connections. You cannot life hack that easily, right? Happiness of doing all these things, right? You cannot life hack that easily unless you're very obsessed with living as long as possible, right? Productivity, you cannot hack that whatsoever. If you want to be something in life, you have to be productive towards that actualization. So when you see a fucking life hacker like this, you still have to be skeptical, because yes, living as long as possible is very important. Just buying yourself time is very important. But it must work in the moment at the same time. It actually must empower you in the moment to confirm that it's actually working and not just like steal all of your time. So some practices might actually work. Some practices are an absolute overkill. And because this guy's an influencer, he will lean towards overkill just to do the science for us, basically. Be a science experiment. Be a freak of nature that everyone wants. Like, he wants attention in the end of the day, in a way. So you have to be extremely careful. Yeah, you cannot hack popularity without being a freak. Right? That's so weird, but yeah, I do guess, like, you cannot hack access unless you are, in fact, properly self-improving. You're not neglecting yourself. There's 4 things. I like number 4.
I'm also a fan of calling out BS with...
Fun fact, I had a nap, guys. So I have no idea what we're talking about anymore. Let's build a new context from ground up. I know I was roasting Brian Johnson and how people are trying to sell you things, but shouldn't always be trusted. Sometimes their ideas are just not compatible. Sometimes they're exaggerated. Sometimes they're just living their own imaginary life and projecting onto others that their snake oil works. We're going to get to one thing in particular in the second video. Oh, I have this turned on. I watched this one because I don't want to actually rewatch it too much. Bro sells something in the end, but then he says a few tips, right, besides the testosterone bullshit. These are tips that coming off when you're feeling fatigue, right? And sometimes exercise does work against fatigue. But the reason why you wouldn't do that is because it also causes the fatigue. So we have to get out of the way what's actually going on, demystify the logic behind exercise. Sometimes fatigue is fake. That's the point. You are capable of pushing through it. You're capable of building kind of resistance towards just like giving up, and building a little bit of resistance will make you sleep better, potentially, right? I already sleep pretty well. I already feel pretty well. I don't need additional boosters to my like physical life. In fact, maybe it was as a result of last year doing the Max Stats episodes and just kind of focusing on that just a little bit to where like my mind just relaxed. I didn't really change my life too much. One of the biggest factors that I did change that I couldn't fucking shut up about, like he's sitting down, right? He's sitting down is the stand-up PC mode, basically. Why is this such a big factor? It's an exercise. It's an invisible exercise. You don't even notice that you're exercising, but it's hard to be standing for a prolonged period of time. You will have to get in a laying down position, essentially, right? You will get into resting position automatically. You'll have to give up automatically, and then you don't have to be in control. You don't have to tell your body what to do and how to feel. Exercise kind of just like finishes that off. But is this exercise? It's invisible. I told you guys, it's invisible. So if you can figure out how to inject invisible exercise, not only you don't have to do the actual thing that's exhausting, but you're gonna, like, your body will actually finally get into a rhythm of, like, you're doing intense stuff sometimes during the day, and then you're doing the relaxing stuff. All of a sudden, the two pieces come apart, and they become more potent as a result. You're doing intensive stuff, you do work, right? You're building something, you're thinking about something, you're presenting something, you're playing games. Sometimes it's relaxing, sometimes it's intense. Both can be the case. Like for me, if I'm recording a video session, it's an intense one. Intense gameplay, right? If I'm just chilling, I'm just doing some fucking grindy nonsense and potentially listening to a podcast. Again, these two come apart very interesting ways. Do they mix? Can I put a laptop in my bed to do work? Probably it's no use. Probably there's no use for that. I would like to have a keyboard so I can write things down, write my thoughts, maybe plan out what happens when I'm active. But yeah, there's literally two phases in my life right now. Just because I did this one tiny change seemingly changed the entire life, the entire course of my life. I don't know. I think I started this change very early last year, and it's just like took off. Now it's just the best thing I've ever done, right? It automated my life. Who would have thought? But yeah, that's because invisible exercise. Exercise does help you with fatigue. It does help you like accept fatigue in your life. Otherwise, if you're just sitting constantly, you're just annoyed. Like you don't feel correct all the way. Like you have to give your body freedom to fatigue itself, basically any way it wants, and that is like it's just gonna liberate you. If you have trouble sleeping, Like, even that guy, I'll show you the face. He said he has trouble sleeping, and wow. Not a good Google introduction anymore. But, like, what if he just stands up and his whole life fucking gets fixed? Like, imagine that, like a simple advice. He's always sitting there. He's always a fucking gamer mode, and potentially that's the problem, right? Who knows what has to be injected into your life to change your life completely, but I already found that epic change, basically. It takes a little bit of time, but it's almost like immediately takes effect, right? You will be fatigued. You will realize it's not invisible exercise the first few weeks, because it's so fucking exhausting. But when you see all the benefits, it's insane, dude. So that guy, like, complained about insomnia. It's sad to see, right? That potentially there's a cure for him personally. At least something he should try, you know? Like, the most important thing, I will not respect a human being who has diseases and has weaknesses if they're not trying to fix it, if they're not finding what can help them. I cannot respect a person like that. There's two things. There's another advice for insomniacs, basically. You have to have fresh air. You must open window as best as you can. It's so difficult to, like, you have to drink a lot of water, open window. You will not be able to sleep in a hot room, right? So you have to, like, cool down the environment. Some people even now able to buy beds that cool down. Fascinating. All right, fascinating. There is side mini drama happening in my head, and it's about one game developer showing up to where I raised my hand and I'm like, yes, I'm interested. And it's fascinating sometimes when I make a video. Just getting 1,000 views means that the original creator will actually give a fuck. That means that it's like top of the algorithm somehow. Just 1,000 views can put it all the way to the top. And conquering, like, these algorithm spaces, like, it's so I mean, it's such a cool level of dominance I wish I could have at some point. Regardless, the mini drama is about game developers, right? Doing their thing. They're specialized, but they're smart people. And I'm a smart person. I'm like, I don't want to do exhausting game development work necessarily my entire life. That's my hobby. It shouldn't be fucking ruining my life. So, what a smart person should actually do. And we slowly, eventually ended up here, where a smart person is supposed to give advice to people and himself, so it fucking sticks. What a smart person shouldn't do is stop talking to people, stop socially engaging, stop posting about things that they care about, and basically diminish the idea that they're smart for the sake of being humble or whatever, right? There's no fucking way I'm gonna do that. There's so many stupid people. I will have to out-yap all of them. And even, generally decent people, they're not smart enough, right? Even if they can, like, put down the correct statements, how did you derive those statements? What's the logic behind them? Because a lot of people just derive statements out of just, like, a general science, so they still don't know how it actually works. And some people are just so fucking entrenched in some weird-ass science. I mean, we have seen some crazy stuff. Psych2Go is not something I can recover from, guys. This channel, I mean, in general, just this consensus about nofap, right? That shit is so toxic. Holy shit, man. There's some actual very good value from this video where it does give a true statement. Like, if you are tired, you don't have ability to resist evil, all right? But life is kind of structured in a way where, like, you will have energy, first of all. The only thing you have to do is in fact, acknowledge this statement. This is a pretty good statement, actually. You have to acknowledge it. Whether you want it or not, some time will be spent fighting evil. Even if it's just a drama episode between you and someone else, right? But it will still make it harder for you to sleep. Even if you get a few haters and you're like really frustrated about something, it will make it harder for you to sleep. That energy gets wasted, right? Or rather, spent fighting evil. That's how you have to look at it. And it should happen, right? This is the final test. Or sometimes, it comes to traumatize you. You're the chosen one. And to be a chosen one, to be the avatar, is everyone fucking hates you, basically. That's the so much for being the chosen one, right? Everyone hates you. Everyone expects you to do all the elements, to defeat all the elements, all the fucking levels of evil. That's what it's like being the avatar, being godlike. People bully you harder. They challenge you harder. Or, sometimes you don't actually know whether you're traumatized or you just did a good job digging out the drama around you, right? Digging out the landmines. And sometimes those landmines fucking explode. Sometimes you did it the wrong way and it fucking sends you into a whole different storyline for a whole year. You should not be a coward. You should not be silent. This is where the fatigue sets in when you're not doing enough stuff in your life. There is no passion. There's no resistance to the gravity, right? We will have to talk about gravity because it's its own topic. Yeah, it's related to this lack of resistance. If you just give up to gravity, well, gravity will crush you and you will be fatigued because obviously you just surrender to everyone's way of life. Your life is easy that way. If you want an easy life, you just give up to gravity. Here you go. Someone tells you to get a job, you get a job. The end. For fuck's sake. If you do not challenge the fucking narrative, if you don't even care how much the other person cares, and if you don't care about fairness, you'll just fall for gravity. And even though it's easy, people will have their way with you. You will be a dumbed down version of yourself, constantly relying on other people to give you stuff, right? I get to invent my own things. You rely on me and everyone else who creates new things to give you stuff to fucking let you survive. Basically, we get to dictate whether you live or die, basically. Or you're just unhappy because you didn't get what you wanted. Living under gravity does not allow you much wiggle room, much freedom, much experimental way of life. You have to be like everyone else. You have to be very predictable. If everyone is out there silent and scared to speak up, you'll be one of them, right? You'll just follow the herd. You'll be the sheep. But gravity is so much more. Gravity also adds the element of, the body collapse. Sometimes gravity will almost allow you to gravitate towards fat people and unhealthy people, or just toxic people. And body collapse is one of those things where you're just I'm not gonna lift a finger. I'll just, whatever happens, happens. You don't even think about exercise whatsoever. It's just you're just doing your thing, but you're constantly complaining about how your body feels. Because you're not listening to the body, you just let it go. Let the gravity consume it. So anytime you give in to gravity, something fucking terrible happens to you. That's the fucking point, right? You can get sucked into a cult. You adopt terrible addictions and ideologies. And, as I mentioned at the start of the video, you do the stupid things when there's abundance of stupid things being done. We don't need more, you know? So you're fucking achieving nothing, and the moment someone shows you a mirror to look at yourself, you'll just be embarrassed and silent like everyone else, not posting anything, not be happy with anything, just killed by gravity. So your morning routine, the only thing I hope for your morning routine to do is be happy that you're alive, wake up, don't stay in bed, have something to do. Thank you very much. You did it. One of the most, greatest themes right now going on is self-love. You might not get what you want from life anymore. Some of your needs will actually be challenged, right? I need to have friendships. I need to have security in life and, sense of what's going on, and I just can't grasp it right now. But that's why I have to focus on the next best thing that is stable, and self-love is stable, is something I can actually build. It's one of those funny things, have you played Prison Server in Minecraft or something like that, right? You have a tiny little space, and if you produce self-love, then you will not feel like you're in a prison. You'll feel like you're free to constantly upgrade and improve the way you live this prison life. The way out of the prison is, well, fucking survive, right? So the real way is to love yourself, upgrade your life as much as possible, not just drown in doom and, yet again, the gravity of the situation. And unfortunately, even after you escape the actual prison, life is a prison. The predators are the winners, the bullies, the predators, who they approach you, take things away from you. One way or the other, they convince you that their thing is important. So important that you have to suffer for it. The most successful people dare to scam the shit out of you. We call them billionaires. Anyways,
with some things,
talking about billionaires,
I think 10 years or so,
I wouldn't even be able to talk about self-development if I was a smart person who has money. I would try and seek, how can I employ other people, right? Bro is just working for himself forever, right? He's completely independent, and that's kind of actually garbage, right? If you have a revenue stream, you might want to share it with other people, because it's morally, empowering or affirming type of behavior. Morally affirming. What does that mean? That means that you can project moral values onto other people because you're doing something important yourself. Instead of being a person who says, get a job, you can offer something. Wow. Who would have thought? I would love to actually build a business, right? But I was bullied out of this mentality. My life fucking sucked, okay? I didn't have friends who also would be able to build this kind of mindset with me to dig out, how do you build a business? All the fundamentals, right? We would have to work together. There's no other way. And I couldn't fucking spark a fire whatsoever. Just more drama, just more silence, just more NPC gravity behavior. I knew it's a big question mark. How do you build a business? It's a big question mark, and you can't solve it immediately, but you can at least create a task force that would be relatively interested. Right? I didn't approach them like that. I didn't approach them in a coherent way. Instead, what happened, I had to face a piece of the culture that, silences everyone. It's a prison service, so shut the fuck up, right? Or are you the bad guy? Everyone's judging each other. And if you speak up, people will distance themselves from you. Because they don't want to take, they don't have time for the shit, right? They don't want to look at you as like a bigger person than them. That makes them feel bad. That anyone can just open their mouth and all of a sudden we collaborate? What the fuck is that, right? And now I'm past that. Like, I'm not gonna make a business. I will never know how it's actually done. I have to do something else entirely. I almost wanted to collaborate with close people, not knowing what I want to do exactly. But the first thing I had to do is survive mental illness. Because this is what people, kick things off with, alright? If they don't like you, they will project mental illness. Because it's a challenge. You have to go through it, right? You have to go from a zero to a hero, so at the start, you're just fucking yapping about nonsense. You don't know what the fuck you're doing most of the time. You don't have good quality to offer to people, so it looks awful, and slips into a lot of, like, weird formats. You can see on my channel, again, the mental illness phase. I'll try to clean it up. I would say it's quite similar, the thing that you go through in school, right? Yeah, you have to restrain yourself. Also, since grade 1, I started as a 0 and was able to, normalize everything. And everyone were watching, bro. Everyone were watching, keeping fucking receipts on everything that everyone else is doing, right? Any crazy behavior. So this is what people do. They instead of actually acting and doing things, they just have expectations of how things are supposed to be done. And if other people are not doing it properly, then they're wrong and just terrible people. But you're also not even trying. This is the stuff you have to go through. You have to go through the process of being a loser. This is why people shut up and they can never speak up again. The gravity kills them, right? You never practice the mental illness. You would never had a safe space to unleash your potential. And again, I still actually live in a humble state of mind just because most of my self-improvement comes from trauma, right? I still have to articulate exactly what I mean. I still have to find the best things if I want to empower other people, if I want to save them from themselves, because that's what lack of self-love does, right? It makes you think in a very generic way. It makes you a bully to other people who are not part of your self-improvement mindset. We have seen the no-fap fucking split their generation, and it tells such a crazy story about how people degenerate themselves. What happens when they start this lack of self-love journey, the no-fap calendar stack? Oh boy. That is literally like alien material. That's where all the demons come from. That's the worst of the worst people. Insult squared. Oh my god.
So then just
like if you're an incel, you would think you want more freedom and self-love, not less. Not just like crack the system and worship women anyways, however they live their lives. Just gonna appeal to them. Yet none of them do. None of those idiots actually do that. All you need as a no-fapper to convince others is a woman, right? The most convincing argument. If you don't have that, you lost the plot, right? Because it's all about women anyways, all this. So also it would be a part of the topic of fatigue, but this guy wouldn't even fucking touch it, right? Because he's the kind of bully-leaning type of person, right? He wouldn't even assume that you're squeezing your lemons, alright?
what I think is the stupidest yet most elaborate morning routine I've ever seen. We'll get to that with them, and maybe you don't either, is all of the Mount Rushmore morning routine advocates do not have kids. So I heard people...
Fascinating. If you have children, you will feel incredible gravity of life to the point where your morning routine gets destroyed. You see, what the fuck is that, right? He's calling bullshit because children ruin your life for the time being. But if something is good, you can only sacrifice 50% of it. You know, you still should do half of it. If it's good, why would a child or children steal half of your time? Or even more, right? So I don't know, bro. Bro's going into the NPC, I want to call it paradox, right? NPCs feel good about having children, and it is a statement, but it's fundamentally not good for them, right? That's the fucking NPC paradox. It's just a way to boost gravity and still survive the gravity. And obviously all the NPCs of the world, they get really upset when, you know, you bother them because, look at me, I'm under such gravity, I have children and everything's supposed to be happy for me. And that's not how it works, dude. There are certain people you have to fucking give way to if you actually want to be successful. And not just like spread your disease of having children to everyone around you. You're not royalty. You're not better than everyone else. This is not even about selfishness. I mean, bro just actually admitted to be an NPC. Are you kidding me? Oh, and please don't tell me you need context for something like this. But anyways, it goes to the list of stupid behavior. Having children is on the list of stupid shit that other people are willing to do, but you don't have to do this. Absolutely not. Leave it for, drum rolls, stupid people. Yeah? Wow. And now that you left it for give them something in return. Right? You have a child. Congratulations. I'll give you some candy for free. I'll give you cheers and joy and like decouple you from all the like serious things because you don't want to be serious around children anyways. It's easy, bro. It's easy. Just be Mr. Beast and make content for children. And you'll be like feeding NPCs the way it was meant to be. It's one of those weird things. So I don't know, dude. You don't sound very convincing. You sound very self-destructive. I thought I'm gonna praise you for this video because it's like straightforward, right? Like someone has a stupid morning routine, but no, this is the secret sauce of having children, you know, and he's gonna tell you all about it.
Aren't really that extensive.
They're not doing that stupid thing, though.
It's actually benefiting your future as you should be.
Now, the real question, if populism is grounded on stupid... No. Don't do it. None of the advice should be, here's what you do if you have children. Here's how your morning routine should look like. That's fucking bullshit. Children should not be acknowledged. We should only acknowledge the maximum capacity, right? The maximum possible scenario. Going all in, dedicating all your time. That's what it is. You even get to see, like, most of the influencers detached from their families. Even the fucking outdoors guy, right? This guy, he has a family, right? Or does he have a family? He's a fucking man making content. Most of the time, family does not get in the way, which is actually a trait most people have, right? Most of the time, your family's happily not needing a father 24/7. That's a pretty reasonable expectation, right? If your father provides to the family and builds a shelter and has cool activity when, like, you have extra time, that children can do that fun activity. That's it. This is a perfect fucking example of a way to not be an NPC in a very healthy way, right? And still have a family. So the fact that he's kind of falling for it, man, I don't know, man. Get a grip.
We get into what I think, and with my older son, I'm simultaneously needing to play with him, make him breakfast, get him ready for school, and being realistic.
You don't have to.
If I were to have solo time for my morning routine.
See, that's the point. Americans live in the most degenerate fucking civilization that they built. They have to drive their children to school. Fucking hell. That's the problem. You guys are the problem. You guys are the fucking idiots. Every single time, you never know whether there's something going wrong or there's just an American fucking bullshit system ruining the vibe in the first place. Normal situation should be the child goes to school all by himself. What the fuck is the rest of this, right? What is play with someone? Holy shit, man. So I guess I grew up in a very rough situation, isn't it? No, I just went to school. All by myself. It wasn't that far. It's 30 minutes away. Right? That's how it's supposed to be, right? In my understanding, a child should only go to school when it's capable of going to school all by himself. No other way fucking works, to be honest. And if there's no convenient school nearby, and you actually have to drive, forget about it. No school. What the fuck are you talking? You can homeschool that shit. It's gonna be more convenient than actually spending time driving the child back and forth and just constantly getting ready, right? And preparing your child as well for... What the fuck? The bullshit! That's bullshit at some point. That doesn't fucking outweigh the general costs anymore. Or you just don't get the benefits of school that outweigh the cost anymore. Fascinating. So another fucking problem, basically. Another piece of gravity you can sense, right? When you unpack it.
How realistic is this for anybody else? And honestly, how realistic is it for him if he wants a quality of life connected with other people? And I don't know about you, but I think a big increaser of my quality of life is when I am doing things for other people. You'll see the first half of his day is doing nothing but everything only for himself. Check out what
he got him. He got him, though. Brian Johnson got cooked.
Rather than doing something for someone else. Golly, if I were him, and I'm being critical, am I being a hater?
Oh, you don't know? Well, being a critic is not exactly the same as being a hater. Haters exist in the comment section. In fact, for the sake of fairness, they should be trying to outweigh your efforts in the comment section. Let's say like 1 minute of your video should be one comment. Like, somewhat elaborate 2-sentence comment, even from a hater, to try and, you know, outweigh your effort. The fact that you put up a video, it has to be outweighed, otherwise it's not fair. You see, I live in the YouTube unfairness zone, where I'm treated like shit, and I still get haters, trying to do God knows what. Critic, on the other hand, puts out his own content and his own explanation of why my content or someone else's content sucks or is supposed to harvest more attention, or just deserve the attention that it's received, in case someone doesn't get it. If you're a content creator, you're probably not a hater anymore. It's like, they're literally not capable of doing that. It's a whole different mentality. Which is why when I look into a comment section, I only see haters most of the time. And if I see a creator, they behave a very different way. Holy shit. They sort of know that they have the freedom to criticize you as much as they want, but they chose not to do that. Not to be a critic. Chose to do something else. Artistry. some kind of thematic reviews, who knows, but they didn't choose to criticize you in particular. Because they know it's you know, playing with fire. You just never know when I was right all along, and you're just a hater. See, like, you become a hater if you're a bad critic, right? If you're a bad critic, you get demoted, and your work backfires. I want to explain, because he had a stroke trying to understand what the difference is.
Probably. I believe his...
Am I a hater of Brian Johnson? Brian Johnson deserves all the hate in the world, as long as it's done in a productive manner and you label yourself as a critic. You do it out of necessity to inform people what the fuck is going on, to shine a little bit of different perspective, right? That's so important.
Kids are older, they don't live with him.
And it's also important not to be, insecure about it.
So he can, as I have ever...
It's so weird that bro has divorced Sunlight. Is Sunlight really this fucking toxic that you have to not involve it in your life whatsoever? Like, tan people look so fucking badass. I'm often jealous when I'm just a red guy hiding my lack of tan, I have internal tan system, but come on, man. Everyone makes fun of this guy for being fucking too white, man. Too white. I'm asking Am what to do after I poop, because I feel weird. Fatigue, bro. More water. Nah, I cannot be helped. Maybe hydration. Maybe you should be drinking water while you're pooping. That's right. Special magical time for that.
Next to exercise.
Yep, that Brian was definitely a subject of dumbest thing he can possibly find compilation to do in the morning. I mean, for fuck's sake. Well, someone roasting him for me. I'll take it.
Greed makes cowards of us all.
So yeah, you should have not necessarily energy reserve, because you always have energy reserve, but you have to have willpower to fight evil. And again, resist the gravity every now and then. And it presents itself in so many ways across my entire life. I can pinpoint peer pressure over and over again. But when peer pressure was not present, then I was in charge. I was the good guy leading the squad, basically.
You can see an article like this. Millions of Americans are tired all the time. But more...
One factor is I took a dump, and now my body is on a fucking repair mode. I literally cannot take a shit without getting dragged into fatigue. Now I have to rest at least 5 minutes. At least. Like, no, if we're talking about rest, 15 minutes, right? That would be the normal thing. So I would have to let this video play in the background.
Muscle weight.
I think the biggest thing that causes fatigue is the expectation that you should not be tired. It's the unreasonable expectation. It's unreasonable way that people are trying to control their bodies. They really don't want to be fatigued, but they're fatigued, and now it's panic mode. Now you acknowledge it as a fucking disorder or something. When in actuality, you're just actually being enslaved and asked to do way too many things that, you shouldn't be doing so much stuff throughout the day, right? How would you notice fatigue if you did all the things, You did all you have to do, then, well, there's no fatigue. So, fatigue is a relative thing that you base on whether you were able to accomplish your goals or not. Every single factor would actually result in low energy. All the factors will drain energy, obviously. And that would be the biggest factor See, that's another thing when you like introduce three-segmented problems and one like overarching problem. Of course, everyone will fucking gravitate towards the overarching problem. You haven't fucking found anything, guy. You haven't found anything with the poll. You just found which problem is more popular because it touches more aspects of people's life. It's just more common to occur. The next one, stress, also is a very overarching problem. All right, and when it comes to weight gain, like of course it's obscure. Not everyone has weight issues, obviously. That's the funny thing. It's so funny to me. Although I would say weight gain 20%. That's the weird anomaly in the data. That's the thing that would actually surprise me, right? It's not the populist fucking choice of low energy. Shut the fuck up. If you have this going on, man. Also, like, I don't even get it. What is this? I don't get it. Loss of muscle? Is someone life stealing me? What?
Which matches the national, like what the #1 health complaints.
Wow, it matches what he expected. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Please take this hope in. It's not that you have poor character. It's that you're just tired. That means it's under your control, which means there is absolutely hope. Hope for things that we lose when we're consistently tired. We become less of a man. We act like less of a man. We have a
No, it is your problem because you soak in like a sponge all the negativity and you expect other people to carry your negativity, to respond to it, to take damage from you because you're the fucking loser, you know? You're the idiot who couldn't fucking handle life properly. But yeah, absolutely, that's what self-improvement does. It gives you abilities to push brakes on the bad behavior, because bad behavior is controlled by temptations. If you're stressed and low energy, you will expect other people to, be in the same state and will be irritated when, they're not defeated. You'll try to drag them into your own grave. Like the zombies that they are, they just constantly do that. This is why it's actually very important to double check like who are you talking to. This sort of like ID verification system, I'm sort of leaning towards it if it's designed properly. The anonymity on the internet makes it so like you cannot take the commenters seriously. You can only take creators seriously. That's a big factor of your self-improvement, is to not let your character get killed by gravity.
Have self-discipline.
Guess what?
We have a short-term sense of comfort. Long-term, we're way worse off. It's comfortable to just sit on the couch and relax, which also drains our energy. The comfort of avoidance.
Yeah, sitting on a couch drains your energy. No, the reality is, like, he's going off the fucking rails. The reality is, the way you train your body, you must drain all your energy. You must. That's the fucking ritual. Every day you must drain all your energy. Then you can go to sleep, then you can rest. You almost should enjoy doing that. Drain your energy as fast as you possibly can, almost cheat the system. Maybe I'll try some of that, So it's like, well, I guess I have to do healing time, guys. Uh-oh. But oh no, when I drain energy, then I go into fatigue, and then I have low energy. See, the other interpretation of low energy is what do you do throughout the day? So if you spend a lot of energy, you're like, oh, I have a lot of energy throughout the day, right? So you don't have low energy because you're actually spending the damn thing. You have it, you're just not willing to spend it. You're too fucking lazy. Or compartmentalized to be sitting around, laying around, not doing much. You don't have activities. Heck, you don't even have drama in your life. God knows what is lacking. Like, you should be able to find a way to drain your energy. Because that's the proof that you have a lot of energy. You have to find a way to drain it first. it is like sort of counterintuitive, like very annoying type of logic. But this is why sitting on the couch does not drain energy. And somehow it's bad for people who suffer from low energy. Like, what? What's going on? To prove that you have energy, that you have high energy, you actually have to emit said energy. And you can't just have it, right? Having energy means fucking nothing. It just makes you depressed that you couldn't actually emit the energy that you have, right? You just fucking gobble it. You just let it sit in your body, and now you're depressed. That's the fucking that's the whole difference, honestly. It's the magic trick, basically, that your brain has to fucking jump through a hoop to understand. This is where, like, logic becomes, like, fucking gold. Because it's hard to actually even explain to someone. You have to fundamentally understand what I'm talking about. I have been low energy this whole time. All I have to do is this. Oh, and I evaporated. Or I got deserved time of resting, and I can continue doing that. Here you go. Problem solved.
It takes a long time.
Let's see, I was told in the hospital to not do body movements, meaningless body movements, like move my leg or just like sort of like show of anxiety. I can't do that. I must release energy, you freaks. I have to release it. I might have unwanted body movements, but I don't think it makes me a worst person. My body is constantly just moving around and trying to find something that might have to move around just a little bit more, actually.
And is it?
In the hospital, these idiots actually just want you to lay down, and they just provide you a bed, and they say it's enough. It's like, what? They don't test you based on what you're capable of. They test you of just your general stance, and it's so fucking pathetic, and everyone does that. It's like they fucking take an easy way out. It's like, well, doctor sees nothing wrong with you. Uh-oh. Oh, you're the worst person ever. What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? That's the reaction. That's ridiculous. These are degenerates basically ruling over my country, I would say. In case you get caught in a net of bad behavior, yeah. You'll see someone else who's way scarier than you are.
Being a father, the most important job a man can ever have.
Get out of here. What are you talking? You can be a father to as many children as you want, as long as you give advice. In fact, you can be a mentor to people, not just children. Get the fuck out of here, man. You're not making children's content. Like, if that's your highest priority, your content should be targeting children. What the fuck, right? Also be a father for my child, too. You know, you love it so much. That's your highest thing, but no. What the fuck, bro? Bro just goes off the rails every now and then.
Take a look at
especially when it comes to his NPC behavior, bro. Holy shit.
this quick illustration. It is on a decline.
And he starts yapping about testosterone, bro. Can I decode what testosterone is? Well, it's too late for that, unfortunately.
Men is lack of exercise. Here's the irony of it. When we have low energy, we don't want to exercise.
He's gonna try and explain this to you guys.
Deep down, we probably know, yeah, exercise actually gives me energy. I feel better. I feel more.
That makes sense. Exercise gives me energy.
Self-esteem. I just have more energy after I exercise.
What do you mean? No, you gain energy after resting after exercise. Right? Like, you can't just, like, bleed energy and be like, well, I have more energy. That makes no fucking sense. You can kickstart yourself, your activity with exercise. That makes sense. If exercise lasts like 5 minutes, you can kickstart something, but you can't fucking claim that, oh, I have more energy. The dumbest thing I've ever heard.
We inherently know that, but what we actually lack is motivation to start.
We definitely don't know that.
Exercising, because the more fatigued we are, the less motivated we are. So nonetheless,
he didn't actually explain it. It's just like, well, the irony of this. The irony is that wasting energy is gaining and gives us energy, right? Not at all. Exercise doesn't even really kickstart your day, doesn't even kickstart your activity, because like my job or my activities are mental activities, so exercise doesn't really help much. It's more like a fucking time filler type of thing when I'm not like intensely writing the code. I can think in my head and do exercise at the same time, right? Exercise is the best multitasking, filler content for your self-improvement. You can do it any fucking time you want. You can stretch any part of your body, no matter which way you positioned your body, which way you tangled yourself up. Okay, you can still exercise something, right? It's just this fucking weird. So, and no, it does not give you energy. It's just this is what fucking sends this video into oblivion. Now we're gonna talk about testosterone, also known as one toaster. One toaster, please. I still have no idea what the fuck that is, to be honest. And ever since the video left atmosphere, it's returned 2 times maybe.
Year-old man.
They keep dropping. Or our samples become more refined, more scientifically correct. We don't know. The science gets updated and it becomes more accurate. We're also not getting as much activity, and we're just living private lives, so we don't have social activity. We don't have to prove ourselves to anyone. Needing anything becomes sort of obsolete. So again, this scare tactic should not bother you whatsoever.
From the year 2000, completely in the dark about 2 things with testosterone. One,
yeah, and here comes the fucking idiot saying, go to the doctor, check your testosterone levels. Man, get the fuck out of here. Every single time they send you to a doctor is the dumbest fucking reason you can possibly imagine.
Should be.
Hey guys, check for breast cancer.
Because we have
go to
normal
doctor.
levels, testosterone levels.
Again, all these idiots, they use science and fucking calculations that make no fucking sense. You should just be able to do certain tasks, not have some kind of power level calculation. No, do the tasks you want to do and feel like you achieved something. Why are we doing the Brian Johnson tactics anyways? We have just roasted the guy. We're fucking giving up to the gravity of the situation anyways. Of like, well, test your toasterone levels, guys. And then he goes so far with it. He sells the shit. He sends you to a doctor for it. Like, all of it. He vomited all of this. Literally Brian Johnson, sell your soul for money type of bullshit that he just criticized. The hypocrisy is unbelievable. Testosterone, like, there's no such thing as magic, no matter how much science you consume every day. You must be able to do the tasks you want to do, be the man you want to be. To me, testosterone is like the ego levels. When you activate your ego to the max, I think it's connected to that. It's your self-perception of, like, grandiose self-perception. I think it results in confidence. Yeah, just to reiterate, the biggest problem with people feeling fatigue is the fact that so much asked from them. Now we're actually also extra isolated from each other, so we don't know how to, like, measure. We're always going to be unhappy with ourselves. Again, I see on TikTok all the often enough where people say, how do you do more things than just like 1-2 things a day? No, you don't. You shouldn't. I can only be productive 2 hours a day if I'm lucky. In this state, in this social media state, I can survive 4-5 hours a day. What do you do for the rest of the day? You gotta have to figure it out. And most people just fucking lean on television, just simple things, gaming, you name it. You know that shit. What is he doing? He is having children. You know, that's his entertainment, unfortunately. Pathetic. And watching the news, bro. Holy shit.
And also no screens for an hour before bed.
No, don't shove random bullshit into my life. Thank you very much. I would say there shouldn't be too many screens when you're waking up, but even then, it's like I failed that task as well. I've just seen something really stupid that I should have commented on immediately in this video as well, like integrated into this video. It's more screen time related. So the guy was going through a whole mind-bending experiment. And obviously, you know, American stupidity kicks in. And he started fucking reading books at this point. And then praising how good book reading is. I mean, holy shit, dude. Are you okay? Obviously, like, this mindless doom scrolling is another form of gravity. If you're not doing any form of self-actualization from the doom scrolling, if you're not finding things you like, if you're not actually enjoying it, then it's not a good resting activity. You still have to find better ones, but it's fine. Most people beat up themselves so much, it's hard to even fucking look at them. They're trying to be better than you are. So it's like, I'm not gonna help you be better than me, because I don't know how to do that. Go attempt the impossible. It looks impossible to me. At some point, it's impossible to give you advice because you're trying to do way more things than I do. They might be more meaningless. They might be not the things that you want to do in particular, but you earn certain resources from it. Certain reputation, money, acknowledgement, you name it. But I feel like nowadays people just beat themselves up or allow themselves to get bullied. You always have to read between the lines of what is the current gravity towards what kind of bad outcome is going on. Again, it's like a giant sacrifice for the sake of making your life a little bit simpler. Not necessarily easier, but simpler.
Be the man they want to.
For the final statement, for the final haha moment, listen to this bullshit.
Be the man they want to be and actually
be the
feel like a
man.
Act like a man, be there better for their families, and what matters most to them is address testosterone levels.
Address testosterone. Go to the doctor and check your testosterone. To be the man, the most important thing that the rest of the video is going to be about. What a wonderful transition. Doesn't feel like faking gay to me, isn't it? Holy shit. Yeah, if anything, we just like invented some kind of way to bully people into, you know, a discomfort of like not knowing what's going on, and now you need someone else's help to lead you through the process. You can see now, that's the gravity pull. That is so disgusting to me. And obviously he knows the answer of how you can check your testosterone levels. You know, he presents the most ridiculous problem and he has the most ridiculous solution. Get the fuck out of here, dudes. Slap out of here.